A more humane world for animals. Many of us say we want that, but as Connor Knighton points out, a few of us actually do something about it.
The sprawling Black Beauty Ranch in East Texas takes its name from the classic 1877 novel. Narrated by a horse, Black Beauty encouraged readers to see the world from an animal's point of view.
The story of Black Beauty is about coming home and feeling free and safe. And so this is what all these animals get to do. Hey, sweetie.
Oh, you're curious.
Kitty Block is the CEO of the Humane Society of the United States. The nonprofit which runs Black Beauty has a sanctuary. There are zebras and macaques, bison and lions.
So I think we're about 1,400 acres, and they've all come from various rescue situations. Each one has an incredible story.
There's Loki the tiger, rescued from someone's garage in Houston. There's Eve, known as the Bear Bear, who was once so hairless and emaciated that rescuers initially didn't know what she was.
These are our beautiful lemurs. These guys were in a very dark, small place, did not have anything that resembled this kind of life. So it's amazing to see them, how they've taken to their habitat.
Yeah.
The ranch's first residents were wild donkeys, airlifted from the Grand Canyon by Black Beauty's founder, author, critic, and animal rights activist Cleveland Amory.
Here we got in this canyon the most highly publicized donkeys in the world. And we're going out to shoot them, for God's sakes?
Today, the sanctuary's home to 150 donkeys. But if you're wondering where all of the dogs and cats are hiding, well, the Humane Society of the United States isn't actually affiliated with the thousands of humane societies that operate shelters across the country.
Local humane societies do take care of dogs, cats, pets, sometimes other animals, and they are amazing places, and we work really closely with them. But that's not us. We are a policy organization. We are a lobbyist shop. We work around the world, and we do rescue, but you can't get your dog or cat from us.
For the past 70 years, the Humane Society of the United States, based in Washington, D.C., has worked on issues ranging from investigating the international fur trade to advocating for disaster relief plans that take animals into account. This past week, the organization announced it's changing its name. To reduce confusion and better reflect its global focus, it will now be known as Humane World for Animals.
Our mission still is about getting at the root causes to prevent tomorrow's cruelties, but also helping animals in crisis today. What the new name does is reflects what we do, how we do it, and where we do it.
After nearly a decade of intense campaigning, the group recently celebrated a win in South Korea.
God, it just feels endless, rows and rows and rows of them.
Last year, that country's National Assembly voted to ban the dog meat industry.
Hi, pretty girl.
What's happening right now that in 5-10 years you think people will look back on and say, I can't believe we did that?
I hope it's less than 5 or even 10 years, but I think the situation with the factory farming is one that we will all look back on and say, really, did we do that? Did we confine animals in these terrible, extreme situations just because it was cheaper or easier, or if we just throw them all together and seal the doors, people won't know it's happening?
Humane World for Animals successfully defended California's Proposition 12 at the Supreme Court. The law established minimum space requirements for certain species of livestock.
Confining animals in extremely terrible situations where animals are stacked in cages on top of cages, it creates conditions where there are illnesses. So there's swine flu, there's bird flu. We can't keep pretending that it has nothing to do with us.
Protecting the 600 or so residents of this ranch is, in a way, a symbolic act for an organization looking to improve the welfare of animals all around the world. Symbolic, like the name Black Beauty. As Kitty Block explains, the ability to consider an animal's perspective is part of what makes us human.
It's important not just for the animals, but it's important for us. who we are, how we think about ourselves, how we want to have a world that we pass on to our children and our children's children. Animals belong there. And so we are committed to making sure that they have that life, they have that ability to thrive, because it matters to all of us.
We're a nation on the go, no time to spare, which explains why convenience stores can be so convenient. And for Luke Burbank, if you need it to go, you need to go to Buc-ee's.
We all know that feeling. You're out on the open road, your gas tank is empty, but your bladder's full. Well, in Texas, a lot of folks in this predicament look for this cartoon beaver, the smiling mascot of Buc-ee's.
Welcome to Buc-ee's! Welcome to Buc-ee's! Welcome to Buc-ee's!
It's a gas station chain beloved by road trippers for its award-winning bathrooms and truly Texas-sized scale. 54,000 square feet of homemade fudge, a beef jerky bar, and whatever this is.
You think that's big enough?
Yeah, I think she'll like that.
And they put that beaver on just about anything.
Have a good one.
There we go.
Awesome.
Perhaps not since Mickey Mouse, as a cartoon rodent, captured the hearts
Want to dance off?
We're gonna be late for school, Mama.
and, crucially, the dollars of so many,
We love going to Buc-ee's.
including customers like Alex and Yasmin Abreu.
I mean, would you be as excited about a place if this was just called Travel Stop?
You stopped for the beaver.
I haven't thought about it, but probably not. Yeah, it's true. These boots that I had made with the Buc-ee's logo on it, had them made right here in Texas.
That's Arch Beaver Applin III, Buc-ee's founder and CEO.
How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Good.
And yes, he really does go by Beaver.
Beaver was my nickname. My mom named me that when I was born.
Buc-ee Beaver Space Guard. Brusha, brusha, brusha.
There was a cartoon character way back, really before my time,
It's standing for your teeth.
a toothpaste commercial, and he was Buc-ee Beaver. And so this fella always called me Buc-ee Beaver growing up.
Applin opened the first Buc-ee's in 1982 as a regular-sized convenience store, but it wasn't until 2003 that he got the idea to build the mother of all gas stations. These days, Buc-ee's has 41 travel centers throughout the South and boasts 2 world records for the world's largest gas station and the world's longest car wash.
Whoa. Technicolor. Haven't seen that before.
But the most popular attraction at Buc-ee's might be its restrooms, voted the best bathrooms in the nation back in 2012.
Lots of space, tile floor to ceiling, well lit.
Applin designed the restrooms himself.
This is very spacious, very private.
If the bathrooms are the number 1 and number 2 reasons for going to Buc-ee's, the number 3 might be this.
Fresh chopped brisket on the board! Oh, look at that!
In 2017, Buc-ee's hired 8-time world barbecue champion Randy Pauly as its director of barbecue.
Oh, wow, I got a name tag and everything?
We're gonna do this right.
How do I look? Is
Wait
that
a
right?
minute, wait a minute. We're gonna have to go a little Texas on you.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
There we go. Look at these bad boys.
It's Pauly's job to teach new hires how to break down a brisket.
So these are gonna be logs that we're gonna chop up. And what we do is we do front to back, X pattern, and you'll be good.
Okay.
You're at the helm, so it's you're the lead. I got fresh chopped brisket on the board. Fresh chopped brisket on the board.
In this case, it turns out, actually my first rodeo.
That looks
How was that, boss?
fantastic.
All right.
So this is one of your favorites.
Yep.
After almost 40 years in business,
That is wonderful, thank you.
Beaver Applin and his very private, very camera-shy business partner, a guy named Don Wasik, still owned 100% of Buc-ee's.
It wouldn't change the experience.
No investors, no board of directors, and that's exactly how they want it.
Any more fresh than this.
Thank you.
Yeah, it allows us total independence to do what we think is the best, and we don't have to answer to maybe a suggestion of how could we cut costs.
Hey, welcome to Buc-ee's.
It's probably one reason why the starting wage for employees at this gas station
How are you today?
is $15 an hour,
All right, your total's going to be $19.21.
with benefits.
Did you ever have a moment where you thought, wow, I made it, it happened?
My dad, I could always tell he had a little bit of concern. Are you okay? You sure are building these big? This went on many, many years. But when I saw in my dad's eyes that he wasn't concerned anymore and he felt like we had made it, then I think that would be my moment.
Applin is now taking Buc-ee's national, with 6 travel centers outside of Texas and plans for many more. He's betting this unapologetically Texas institution can work beyond the borders of the Lone Star State. And he could be right. After all, when you've got to go, you've got to go. And there just might be a cartoon beaver guiding the way.
Steve Hartman this morning has a story that can only be called a very tall tale.
Either I got left in the dryer too long, or that guy is big.
So you grew 7 inches in 1 year.
One summer.
One summer.
One summer.
At 7'3", 24-year-old Jordan Wilmore has always had lofty goals that he kept mostly to himself.
It was hard for me to share like my dreams or, you know, the stuff I wanted to do growing up because it was, well, you just got to focus on basketball because it can make you millions.
And so for years, he did focus on basketball. Played in college and the pros overseas, just like friends and family had always insisted.
Ever since he first hit his head on a door jamb, people have been telling Jordan he should play professional basketball. But other people can't dictate your dreams. And basketball was never his passion.
I mean, I've always liked to help other people. That's just who I am. I just will do anything to help out whoever I can. There was nothing really else I wanted to do.
Which is why Jordan is now almost certainly America's tallest police recruit. Once he graduates, he'll go to work in Kemah, Texas, where Chief Raymond Garavay is already preparing for his arrival.
Hopefully it fits.
Scouring the country for a uniform big enough and a cruiser that won't crush him.
Knees are touching the dash. It's very, very tight.
But Chief Garavay says he's willing to make any accommodation necessary for an officer this dedicated.
If you got a phone call tomorrow, the NBA, $1 million, or stay here and be a cop in Texas.
Stay here.
You want to think about it?
No, I'll stay here.
He wants to serve. He truly wants to make a difference. I'm proud that he chose the thin blue line. I am.
Devotion to community. It makes you stand tall, no matter what your height.
She is perhaps one of the lesser-known ancient Egyptian goddesses. Her name is Hassat. Depicted as a cow, she was worshipped as the goddess of nourishment. So perhaps it's not that much of a surprise that a cow goddess and barbecue would eventually meet.
Oh man.
This is KG Barbecue in Austin, Texas,
The rice bowl is a great introduction.
where pitmaster Kareem El Gaesh has blended the flavors of ancient Egypt with an age-old cowboy tradition.
It's a combo I've never heard of before.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen pomegranate seeds on barbecue.
His presentation is as unique as the taste. Each dish looks like a landscape, painted with the vibrant colors of the Middle East. Meats of all sorts, including lamb and kofta sausages, are seasoned with cumin, coriander, and turmeric.
My goal was to present something that looks familiar, But then you go and try it, and it's an explosion of flavors.
Kareem first came to Texas from Cairo on a whim.
I mean, I know Western movies, I know cowboys, I know country music.
He never tasted Texas barbecue, but when he did, recreating it for himself became his life's work.
Sounds like you became a little obsessed with figuring out how to do it.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit.
He was a finance executive back in Cairo, where in his spare time he would go searching for a cut of brisket to try his hand at his newfound love.
I would go with the cow chart, on my phone. This is where the brisket is. Like, can you cut it?
10 years after his very first taste of Texas barbecue, Kareem opened his own food truck, and within months, his Egyptian-style barbecue had earned a nomination for a prestigious James Beard Award.
Don't ask me how.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's like a work of art. I can't wait to eat this.
I really think a lot of the immigrants who are coming to Texas specifically see barbecue as a way, like a palette, to bring the flavors of their culture to the forefront.
That's Daniel Vaughn, the highly influential barbecue editor for Texas Monthly.
We got crispy pig skin right here.
We found him at the magazine's annual Barbecue Fest in Lockhart this past fall.
Oh, that's the good sound right there.
Hovering around a whole pig being prepared by Don Nguyen, who, along with his brother Theo, started a Vietnamese-style pop-up in Houston called Koi Barbecue.
And what I'm kind of doing on top is just a little fried onion oil.
This dish, for example, offers pork shoulder on a bed of vermicelli noodles, then flavored with a Vietnamese fish sauce.
This is spot on right here.
You ever tasted anything like this?
No, that's unique.
I see people who sort of rail against the idea of all these changes in Texas barbecue, but when you sit them down with that plate in front of them, they're rarely arguing about whether it's good or not, right?
They're certainly lining up at this Asian-styled Texas smokehouse called Kamuri Tatsuya, also in Austin.
Probably the best one.
Chef Tatsu Aikawa is Tokyo-born, but he's Texas-raised, so he doesn't see his barbecue as some kind of trendy fusion. To him, it's just as natural as pairing salt and pepper.
What I make it just comes through me, as an experience. That's why I don't like to use the word fusion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think to me, it's deeper than that.
He too has been racking up awards for items like his barbecue bento box, where diners can take brisket, put it on a bed of rice and garlic, wrap it in nori, and then just eat it like a hand roll.
Good.
Then there's this hugely popular ramen dish, where barbecue brisket is served atop thick, slurp-worthy noodles, accompanied with a pork bone broth for dipping.
It kind of creates this thickness where it kind of coats the whole noodle. Texas barbecue is almost perfect, to its form, and I respect it. So to me, I'm just creating vehicle to showcase and highlight. I'm not trying to alter what it is.
These are about maybe 6-7 hours in.
Neither is Kareem El-Gayash.
I'm just someone that followed my brain, I'm like, this is what I want to do, so I'm just gonna do it.
Follow your heart, I guess.
Yeah, follow my heart too. Exactly, followed my heart.
He just got his U.S. citizenship last year, and he now proudly wears an American flag on his barbecue apron, right next to his Egyptian pendant. A Texan by way of Cairo, who just put a few more notches in the nation's barbecue belt.
I love introducing people to Egypt and its food and its culture, and it's a great way to do it through Texas barbecue.
We all could use an escape these days, and what better way than immersing yourself in a good old-fashioned Western? Lee Cowan has wrangled up the true story of a lawman of the Old West who's finally getting his due.
In the lore of the American West, where heroes are made of both lawmen and the lawless, there's a story of a man as tough as Billy the Kid, as good with a gun as Wild Bill Hickok, and as fast as a horse on the Pony Express.
He was like the Michael Jordan of frontier lawmen. He could whip any two men with his bare hands.
At 6'2", Deputy U.S. Marshal Bass Reeves was as imposing as his mustache. So strong, it was said if he spit on a brick, it would shatter. He roamed the heart of the Indian and Oklahoma territories, almost with impunity, a nightmare for any outlaw. says author and African American studies expert Art Burton.
When I was doing the research, I was shaking my head all the time and saying, people are not going to believe this.
You'd think a wild, Wild West tale like that would almost tell itself. But when Burton began rustling up some research for a book on Reeves, he kept hitting dead ends, like when he tried to trace the Bass Reeves family tree.
A lady answered the phone, and she said she had never heard of him. I said, well, he's an African-American who was a deputy U.S. Marshal. And she was very kind about it. She said, sir, I'm sorry, we do not keep black people's history here.
Before he was a lawman, Reeves was a fugitive, a runaway slave from Texas. Imagine that, a former slave who eventually made a name for himself by arresting white people, no less. And yet his extraordinary story has largely been as forgotten as a ghost town, and Oklahomans say his time has come.
He's a black man. I mean, he's the stuff of legend. I cannot imagine him being white and having the kind of career he had and it not be a major motion picture already, you know, maybe several times over.
It sort of feels intentional, almost, the fact that we don't know more about him.
We're set and action.
To actor David Oyelowo, the tale of Bass Reeves has all the same ingredients as The Lone Ranger, only better.
The Lone Ranger. It's one thing to be a white guy with a mask riding a pretty damn wonderful horse. It's another thing to be doing that with limited resources. You're a black man coming out of enslavement and you do it for 30 plus years and no one is paying you any attention.
When we talked with him this past spring, he was trying to correct history's omission by acting in and executive producing an 8-part series for Paramount Plus, our sister network, called Lawmen, Bass Reeves.
How about I return that pot in exchange for information?
I would just kill you instead.
Could try. But you be going after a deputy U.S. Marshal, and there's a half a dozen more outside.
It's a massive production.
Charlie Mark.
Shot mostly on a ranch in Texas with veteran actors like Donald Sutherland.
You up for the task?
I wouldn't be sitting here my Sunday best if I wasn't.
And Dennis Quaid.
You are the most earnest man I have ever met.
It's great to do a Western, man. It's like being 12 years old again. It really is.
Quaid was equally impressed with Bass Reeves' real-life loyalty to the law.
The thing is that Bass Reeves really was the real deal. He really was that.
Who's your master? George Reeves. He a major in the 11th Texas Cavalry.
Oyelowo says he studied recordings of slave narratives found in the Library of Congress to get his speech patterns just right.
I'm speaking in my own English accent with you guys today. Normally, that's not how we roll.
He also learned to row and ride.
I'm always looking for opportunities to scare myself, and that really did it.
He certainly had his share of insights into the man Bass Reeves must have been.
Gotta admit, certain likeness. Wouldn't you agree?
But the role was also a reminder that no matter how long it takes, light always illuminates greatness.
A tenet I live my life by is that excellence is the best weapon against prejudice. He was excellent. It was difficult to just say, oh, that's a black man who is unworthy, who should be subjugated. You couldn't dismiss him in that way. And that's also the reason why to not celebrate him is wrong.
Bass Reeves lived to be 71, spending his final years in the frontier town of Muskogee.
How much are they?
If you ever find yourself out here, take a walk through the Three Rivers Museum, where Reeves is still remembered.
The fearless and dedicated lawman.
And he's celebrated every year at the Bass Reeves Western History Conference.
Yes, sir. Bass Reeves was as good as they came. And when he died, he was American hero.
Is the mustache real?
Mustache is real. I give pulls for $10.
No one knows where the real Bass Reeves is buried, and maybe that only adds to the mystique. For author Art Burton, that doesn't matter. The child in him wants to thank Bass Reeves for giving him and other black Americans a tip of the hat to a legend all their own.
I used to always wonder, where were we? So it was like God answered my prayers by giving me somebody before I passed away that said, well, we were part of the scene too.
Correspondent Janet Shamlian is taking a hike to a remote and most uncommon workspace.
In the high desert of West Texas, there's a trail dodging cactus.
This is the easy way up.
No signs or guideposts here, just the crunch of gravel underfoot, and above, a wide open sky. But for those in the know, like Matt Walter.
So how long does it take?
40 minutes.
Okay.
This is the journey to a local legend.
This is the last little hurdle.
Last little hurdle, and of course you can see the desk.
Look at this vista.
It's become known as the desk on Hancock Hill. Locals call it simply the desk, an unlikely landmark in the city of Alpine that's been holding court for more than 45 years.
The first time that I came up was January 1986, and it was cold, there was snow on the ground.
Matt Walter has been making the trek to see it almost as long, an amateur photographer documenting the changes.
I didn't know about the desk then. That was before the signage. And I just kind of like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Have you ever been up here alone and just sort of had a moment where kind of more introspective?
I've had a couple of moments like that where you just reflect on the views, the distance, looking out onto this vastness and wondering about the amazement of Mother Nature.
The desk isn't much to look at. It could have come from any classroom, weathered by weather and covered in graffiti. But when seated at it and looking out over the desert, you feel changed.
It's very therapeutic. You can clear your mind and really just get some stuff out if you need to.
What may be more remarkable than the feeling it inspires is how it came to be.
So it was your uncle that initially dragged it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Is he just that kind of guy?
He is that kind of guy. He is he's a wild man, and he's got a lot of energy.
Tony Curry is the nephew of Jim Kitchen, who in the late 1970s was a student at nearby Sul Ross State University. He wanted a place to study with a view, so with a couple of classmates, they hauled it up, planting it at the top, like a flag on a new frontier.
This desk size is probably a little bit bigger than the one my uncle took up originally.
Curry showed us one of the earlier desks. They're now swapped out every decade or so as the elements and visitors take a toll.
Oh, there's several.
Several notebooks.
Kitchen left more than the desk up here, a notebook and pen, because with vast views come big thoughts.
Have you ever written in the book?
Absolutely. Many, many times.
Really?
Yes. It's kind of like a meditative place, where you go and you can just think about things and kind of sort out your problems.
Dozens of filled notebooks dating back decades are cataloged at the library and meticulously preserved by the school's archivist.
How many years have you been going up and rotating out the notebooks? At least 30.
You might call Paula Kitchen Curry, Jim's sister, the unofficial archivist.
I copied them one time and sent them to my brother just so he could see what has happened.
What she comes back with is something akin to a confession booth wrapped in a time capsule. The entries, often heartbreaking.
It does get better. Change can be good. The world is bigger than you think it is. What do you think when you read some of this?
Sometimes it breaks my heart. Sometimes it makes me laugh. Sometimes it makes me want to be a better writer.
What do you think the notebooks and the solitude provide to people?
There are times when you find yourself looking for a way to get something out of your head. And going up to the desk gives you time to think about it. And then the notebook gives you a place to put it down. And then the journey back down gives you a place to kind of leave it behind.
Bats are as scary a symbol of Halloween as you can imagine. But when you see them up close, it turns out they're really more amazing than frightening, as Connor Knighton will show us.
Deep in the heart of Texas, deep inside a cave, millions and millions of Mexican free-tailed bats roost together. 1 square foot of this ceiling can contain more than 500 of them. When it comes to bat colonies, it turns out everything really is bigger in Texas.
So Bracken Cave is the home to the largest colony of bats in the world. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 20 million Mexican free-tailed bats.
Fran Hutchins is the director of Bat Conservation International at Bracken Cave Preserve, located just outside the city of San Antonio.
They'll all be coming out for dinner here in an hour or so.
Bats can be found all throughout the Lone Star State. The ones that roost under the South Congress Bridge in Austin have even become a tourist attraction.
It's something that's just extremely unique to Austin, and it's just cool.
But there's nothing quite like Bracken.
So what we'll see tonight, we call it a batnado. So this sinkhole behind us is going to fill full of this vortex of bats.
When the bats emerge from the cave to feed each evening, the resulting batnado is so massive it shows up on Doppler radar. They're headed out to surrounding fields to spend the night feasting on insects that feast on crops like corn and cotton. Bats are a natural form of pest control.
So farmers love bats?
Yeah, farmers love bats.
I'd say the rest of the world doesn't necessarily.
They're not sure about bats. So that's part of it, is that a lot of people, what they know about bats is whatever horror movie they saw last.
In pop culture, bats are depicted as terrifying bloodsuckers.
My bats passed away. Bats frighten me.
Even Batman is afraid of bats. But one wealthy Texas entrepreneur fell in love with the Bracken bats, inspiring him to pull a Bruce Wayne and build his own bat cave.
After seeing the one down at Bracken Cave, it just knocked me over. I said, that is something.
David Bamberger co-founded fast food chain Church's Texas Chicken. In the late 1990s, concerned about threats to the bat's natural habitat in Texas, he built a giant cave on his sprawling ranch, Sela, near Johnson City. And then, for a long time, no bats showed up. But CBS's Jim Axelrod did.
This is $170,000 if you went out and tried to do it.
So when Bamberger builds the world's largest man-made bat cave, his wallet keeps him from sweating what is so far a $170,000 batless bust.
The millionaire who'd gone batty was big news at the time. The cave was a colossal flop. Until one night, when Bamberger heard the flapping of thousands of tiny wings.
Bats were pouring out of there by the thousands. Tears are running down my face. Like, oh, I'm so happy.
Today, Bamberger's cave, which he's dubbed the Chiroptorium, bats are members of the order Chiroptera, meaning handwing, is home to a couple 100,000 bats, part of his larger conservation-focused preserve. It's impressive. Romantic, even.
Well, our first date was a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Would you care to come and see my bat cave?
Wait, that was the first date?
Yes.
And so what's a gal say to that?
She says, at my age, I've had every come on in my life, but I've never been asked to see a bat cave before.
Bamberger is a 95-year-old newlywed. He married Joanna Reese Bamberger earlier this year. The two still come out to see the bats most evenings.
You sit there absolutely agog because it's just wonderful to look at.
How's it going up?
Looking at the faces of these high schoolers on a field trip to Bracken Cave, you don't see fear, you see awe.
The fun part is watching people that have never seen a bat flight or a bat this close. It can be very emotional for some people.
The majority of these Mexican free-tailed bats will be back in Mexico soon to spend the winter. They won't return to Texas to have their babies until sometime next spring, when they will continue to delight.
Look at them go.
Instead of fright.
Donna Parker is on the last leg of a journey to find the rightful owner of these Army uniforms. A journey that began more than 2 years ago at the bottom of this dumpster.
These are Army suits. Whose are these? Why are they in the trash?
So this became an obsession?
It did, for a very long time.
All she had to go on was a common last name, Mackenzie. But Donna researched, posted on social media, even set up tables at festivals around her home in Lexington, Kentucky, hoping someone might know who these belonged to. And eventually, Donna did get the full name.
And when I did, his obituary was the first thing that came up. and it hit me like it would a family member.
Back in 2018, Sergeant Keith McKenzie, who had survived 2 deployments to Afghanistan, took his own life. He'd been diagnosed with PTSD. Marriage was crumbling, car repossessed, which is actually how the uniform ended up in the dumpster. This wasn't at all the answer Donna was hoping to find, but it made returning that uniform more important than ever.
Somebody may have wanted them.
You could have never guessed how much they were wanted.
No.
1,000 miles away in Waco, Texas, Keith McKenzie Jr., who was left to shag his own fly balls, still feels some bitterness toward his father. But that military service, that's a part of his dad he holds on to dearly, and literally.
I'd just sit there and hold the dog tags. For a good while, I never took them off, since that's kind of all we had.
That was all he had, until his mother, Crystal, got a phone call from a stranger.
She answered a prayer that I didn't know I was praying for. Some faith that there's people out there that care.
Crystal and her daughter, Kayla, knew Donna was coming.
Howdy.
But it was a surprise to Keith.
I brought these for you, all the way from Kentucky. I've been looking for y'all for a long time.
Thank you.
Donna Parker set out to return a uniform.
I don't think you understand how much this really means to all of us.
But what she really returned to this family was hope.
Thank you. You're welcome.
From Steve Hartman now, a story that takes flight.
Here at the Texas Express pole vaulting gym near Dallas, just about every kid jumps to the same conclusion. First time they see 82-year-old Don Isett walk in the door.
And I thought, oh, maybe he's like someone's grandfather or something. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Which soon leads to the second universal reaction.
Wow, is he okay? I thought.
What he does is absolutely insane.
Don Isett is the nation's top pole vaulter in his age group.
National champion.
And pretty much the only pole vaulter in his age group.
I've got buckets of
them.
He picked up the sport for a second time at age 66.
This is when you started?
5 decades after an unremarkable high school career.
So you weren't even that good to begin with.
Right.
So at 66, you say, I want to relive this.
Yeah.
Mediocrity.
I'll try this again.
Why?
It's fun. It's like going to high school again with nothing to study.
Nothing to study but the physics of gravitational potential energy and pain management.
That's a jump right there.
But Don says it's well worth the aches.
It's a rush, exhilaration when you clear a bar.
At a meet last year, Don cleared 9 feet 1 inch. No octogenarian had ever done such a thing. And then, just moments later, set another record. Oldest man to be a human centrifuge. And Don says he's not done setting records. In fact, he told me he plans to keep fit and keep at this until he's 6 feet under, which by my calculation is still about 15 feet away.
The Rio Grande separates Mexico and Texas, but one kind of music brings them together. Mexican-born, and now American-made, mariachi. And on this stage, mariachi became even more a part of Texas. This was the first ever state-sanctioned high school mariachi competition.
Yo quiero luz de luna.
Showstoppers like 10th grader Brisa Davila.
Para cantar divina la ilusión que me trajiste.
Does it help that sharing this culture Let's more Americans be exposed to this at a time when people don't seem to be that happy about Mexico?
Yes, it helps. Because at the end of the day, we're all immigrants. We all came from a different place into this land, wanting to be independent. So, I mean, sharing that culture is beautiful to me.
Mariachi started in the late 1800s when Mexican musicians adapted European instruments like the violin and guitar. The popularity of trumpets, say some, may have come from American jazz. And the accordion, yes, some bands use one, was probably borrowed from German immigrants who came to Texas. It might have stayed just strolling musicians at Mexican restaurants. But along came Linda Ronstadt. Whose 1987 album of songs she heard her Mexican father sing was a smash, and Mariachi went mainstream. On the weekend of the competition,
Viva Mexico! Viva America!
the students were from rural counties and big cities. 70 bands came to Edinburgh in South Texas. Each band gets time to warm up lips and fingers. Then hurry to their 15 minutes of fame on stage. The costume designs date back to the Spanish conquistadors. The girls can take an hour or more on makeup. So senior Jocelyn Gayoso comes out looking like this and ready to perform. She plays the harp for Edinburgh North High School. Mariachi is the music of her family going generations back that she now sings with her grandfather.
I can see how proud he is to see that we're embracing our Hispanic culture and we're not just putting it aside. I can feel my grandpa and the way he loves the music and how much he embraces it. And I like to do that too. I want to pour out to people how much love and all the different emotions that come with it, and just pour it out to the people.
Don't try to say so metric. Cuando suena el mariachi, el mundo canta. Something, no sé, right?
The students also come here to learn from professionals like Jimmy Cuellar.
1, 2. Very nice. I'm amazed at such a young age they can sing a song about heartbreak and being broken up and losing a loved one, but they're 15, 16, 17 years old.
They would give you an argument on that.
I'm pretty sure.
This event means mariachi is now the equal of high school orchestra or choir, says Bradley Kent, who runs state music competitions.
Many of these students grew up in their families hearing this music, singing this music, and so I think that now we have an event that celebrates the genre.
America's high school.
The competition ended with the awarding of medals and plaques to be proudly displayed at schools across Texas. Edinburgh was among the winners, a valuable lesson for all the students that hours, days, even years of practice really do pay off.
I felt very honored and proud once again. I mean, many groups that went that day didn't get the ones, and we did. We put the time. It was like, yes, we did it.